Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Now that we're back, we're just waiting for it to come back. We're just waiting for everybody to come back in the live stream so that we continue. But yes. I guess while we wait, see who places for the next one. But I doubt anybody will place. Okay. Hopefully they're coming back. Okay, I just edited this. We'll be back. Okay. Hopefully, because it's already been done. Yeah. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna blend this onto the Discord. We'll go here. Okay, uploads. This one. Okay. What are you doing?
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience because the wait is finally over. The even more chaotic slap battles is about to begin.
Let's check it out.
Game 4, slap battles. There are 5 free-for-all matches. Contestants must knock everyone else off the platform. Last one standing wins. The contestant with the highest cumulative score will advance to the round of 4. Here's the scoring for each match.
All right, folks. Don't let that charming music deter you. This is a serious competition, and it's really important for our players as there is a pretty close scoring amongst our top here, and it's still anyone's game because in 5 rounds of slap battles, if you go out first, you ain't getting any points. If you make it to the top, you're getting a lot. So, again, the competition is in it. We've got some exciting stories from our players, and I think we're doing good stuff here. Mimi, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that this is going to be exciting. I think we're going to start to really shake out who our true top players are because it's down to the wire, and we're into our first round of slap battles. There's going to be 5 total, and this one is a little bit fun, a little bit chaotic. Normally, this is a game with a ton of different gloves, but in this version, we're only playing with one to keep the competition fair.
Yes, the basic white glove, and of course, the fart ability is the only one that is in the game, and as you guys can hear, it's already being used.
Absolutely. You're going to hear that flowing here. As this game's going to have a little bit of a slower pace start, the players are going to kind of jockey for position in the middle here with this basic glove. It doesn't have a massive knockback, which is kind of an important part of this, as the terrain will start to burn down around them and force them onto a smaller and smaller island.
I got to say, everybody must be trying their best, fighting for life to win, because losing in slap battles must be the most disrespectful way to go out. I will not take that.
Yeah, you hear a fart sound effect and you fall off the map. Yeah, you don't want to go down like that. Pressure definitely on. I think it's a lot of strategy in it, as silly as that might sound for how silly the game is. You have to calculate your risks. Do you play towards the center where there's going to be a lot more conflict? Do you stick more to the side but risk getting hit off in just 1 or 2 slaps? Positioning is a lot of the game in slap battles.
Yeah, as you get a breakaway, we'll see as players sort of get knocked towards the edge, you kind of see the whole mob move towards them a little bit, trying to get an extra slap, push them off the cliff, because it takes a little bit of time as all players are still alive here. But this board is getting smaller.
You are incentivized to, not take too many risks because you're not getting points for eliminating other players. You're getting points for surviving and being the last man standing on that island as it slowly whittles away. Still, our competitors all up, but players starting to get a little closer to that edge.
Yeah, we see with this next drop on the layer on fire now, when that falls, we're going to see people dropping real quick here as we might be a single slap away from the center, and that's where the action really heats up.
This is getting intense.
All right, yeah, still 8 players alive, actually, which is a high score. I'm surprised as we saw folks falling a little quicker here.
Oh, no, Death Eagle, the fan favorite.
Tough for him. He had a couple slower finishes in Blade battles. Still, one of our top half contenders points-wise, and another one falls down safe. Making a lot of noise on the way down.
Wow, and we are going to be making it to, it looks like, our final small pedestal here with a lot of players still in this.
Yeah, 6 up on a very small island. Who's going to be the first to slip? Another goes down. Second player falling as well. It's down to a final 4. Who can stay up? Who can hold on? Mad Max in the center. It looks like a 1v1 against Lime. Max falls, and that should be Lime taking the first round.
All right. Wow.
Congratulations.
That got a wee bit chaotic here as all 8 players made it to a really small form of the island here. But Anonymous Lime taking our kickoff match of slap battles and a whole new array of top players coming out in this next game.
And that's instantly going to shoot Lime way up the standings here. The path was super tight in the middle of the group, and getting those full points for the victory is big for Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, it seems like his name's just popping out of nowhere now. Didn't really see him much in play ball there. And me personally, I played a lot of slap battle, and I have some overpowered gloves. Just seeing them use the basic gloves, it must be really, really difficult to knock somebody down. This is the game that induces the most rage out of me. So
really,
it's nice to see the players are still keeping their cool.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw some emotion starting to come out in the last match of Blade Battle, and I imagine it'll only get more intense as the games get closer and players realize that that chance to make $1 million is slipping away. But our scores are set to go, so let's take a peek how we're doing. No surprises, Anonymous Lime up top, earning 16 points from his win.
Yeah, Mad Max coming in second with 13, and Jay needing those 10 points. And it's good to see some folks popping up. Icicle had a rough round in Blade Ball, but takes 4th here. We'll see if that's enough to keep his hopes alive. Unfortunately, an upset here with the Death Eagle falling first and Roby going down again early on in this match here. So that's unfortunate. We'll see if that's enough to knock him down, but I think they've still got a shot here.
Yeah, it looks like players are getting into the match now. So let's go ahead and hop in. Our second game getting underway now. And the island, for about a moment, is back to being calm.
Looks peaceful, right? Not for long.
And there's the countdown. Again, no early knockdowns that last round. We'll see if that sticks to be the case because it's anyone's game, but the player's still playing safe. Everyone kind of jockeying for that king of the hill in the middle there. That's the spot to be. You could see a bit of a rundown if anyone shows weakness on the edge there. I think we see the Death Eagle playing a little more outside the pack. No one needs to get their hands dirty up front here. Take it slow.
It's funny because you actually see him kind of actioning a similar strategy to what he did in Blade Ball, staying back, playing the fringe of the map, trying to just basically avoid attention from other contestants until he runs out of time. Icy, Roby, both doing the same. Definitely feels advantageous. But there's a fight towards the edge, and Lime goes aggro, knocks Jay off the world.
Ooh, that's rough for Jay, who needed some more points here, but goes down early in this round. Again, this is only round 2 of a 5 cluster of slap battles here, but yeah, an early knockdown for Jay.
Okay.
Jay was having a good run back like you were talking about. Good placement in the first round as well as back in our last game with Blade Ball as well.
Maybe that's why Lime was targeting Jay right off the rip.
Yeah, you wanted to go for that. Go for the people who are leading right now. You know, while the map burns down. Oh, wait, we did lose another one. Dragon goes down. Fun facts about slap battles. You know, the devs develop and update this game all the time. There has been a 1 glove released every Friday for 4 years since this game's creation. So that's a lot of gloves.
Yeah.
And there goes Roby.
Roby again going down early, and that is rough to see. Roby has a pretty comfortable position here, but if he goes down early again, that's going to slip away. Oh, but that's Death Eagle, one of his main competitors here. Oh,
close call.
Yeah, that was a close one. Anonymous Lime holding on. Well,
oh, but he couldn't hold on for long.
Couldn't hold on there. That was a close call. He tried.
Yeah, so our winner of the first round off, and it's 3 contestants working for it. Shafe, one of the top standers right now in terms of points, a chance to win a round here. 1v1v1. Shafe pushed back towards the edge.
Gotta get
gets
up
back
quick,
up just
and he's
in the nick of time, and Icy falls off the
Icy
platform.
goes down, but takes third, and that's an important score for him. He needs those points.
Wow.
Balls.
Look at what he means to him. You can see the players heating up with their reactions as we go on. So for Mad Max, back-to-back second places as Shafe takes that win.
Yeah, a big round. You know, it's interesting to note here, Icicle and Poke Dragon were hurting a little bit, and we might see those in the scores. They're making a comeback, but why it's important is both of them are self-described doors experts, which will be the final game in the progression round. So if they can keep it forward, they're going to be in a good spot.
It's also weighted a little more heavily because we're playing 5 rounds of slap paddles and blade ball. We played 3 of SLS, 2 of DTI. There was a lot of chances for repetition. We're only going to be playing doors once. So that is the real, like, blue shell comeback opportunity for our players to get a ton of points if they win doors.
100 points. Everything will be on the line for doors, which is coming up next. But first, we still have a couple more matches of slap battles left to go. Let's see if any player can pull ahead here.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the Death Eagle here. He's, like we've talked about, one of the fan favorites. He's the player who had to travel the longest to make it here. And with a really strong early start in DTI, he's struggled a little bit in these more recent games. We've seen some reactions, getting a little, energetic at when he was losing these, a little disappointed to be falling off. So you're looking at him to come back here as we see our scores. Mad Max, the back-to-back second places, pushes him above Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, consistency is key as demonstrated by their 26 points. Our leader so far, but right behind him, Anonymous Lime, 24, 18 for Shafe. And again, the rest of our players down the line. Unfortunately, Death Eagle in last place right now with slap battles. We'll see if we can turn it around.
Yeah, that we will. We're getting into our third round now here of slap battles, the midpoint of this game and the penultimate game here of our qualifying round before moving on to doors.
Makes me wonder how Enterel would have done in slap battles. Doesn't look like the skills are translating directly from Blade Ball to this.
Yeah, we've seen a whole different set of folks come out on top here. And the initial high fives are happening. I like to pretend they're all just shaking hands at the start here.
Doing very important business deals as they slowly fall off the world.
Those slap sounds bring back some nightmares for me.
Is this how you do the Roblox business deals when you're off talking to developers around the world?
Just slap.
That is true. More fun facts about Roblox. After you compete in Rivals for your promotion, you will compete in slap battles to have the best ceiling of the contract. So it is a wonderful world to live in, the whimsical life of a Roblox employee.
What's up for IRL slap battles after this?
We'll see. Do we get to choose our own glove?
I believe that one to you. Still, all 8 of our contestants are standing in this third round. We're watching the Death Eagle, the guy we've talked a lot about today.
Yeah, it's an important run for him. He needs to place in the top 3 here to keep his spot alive in this competition. It's unfortunately a lot of pressure for slap battles, a game of whimsical fun, but serious money on the line here. And we'll see Roby again, also someone in an interesting spot. Oh, but Poke goes down. We missed his fall there, but he is out. And all right, that gives a lot of our players still a chance here to get that score. I know Roby's going to be looking for it.
The second round now where PokeDragon has gone down pretty early. I believe he was the first eliminated the last round too, and that's Jay falling.
Yeah, a bit of a gang up on Jay. Gets down in the corner.
Yeah, he's been eliminated pretty early in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate spin for him here. And I'm surprised that first round we saw a long, drawn-out fight. But this one, folks are dropping. Poke and Jay out. Only 6 remain. All right, platforms are applauding. Okay, Roby getting hit, but staying in it. Now we see back to that King of the Hill, jockeying for position, staying in the middle.
Oh, that was a far knockback there.
Yeah, a lot of these platforms starting to drop.
Yeah, that power is a quick boost. Very important to kind of recover your position or sneak up and get that push slap and get them over the edge as folks show signs of weakness. Ooh, the platform's burning in a weird way this time. It's going to leave a funny shape at the end here. And we're going to see a lot of folks dropping real fist here.
Back. Oh, good use of the blast there to boost his way back in. But
an icicle shape, anonymous line. They all fall one by one. And it's Roby and the Death Eagle. Oh, this is an important one here.
Oh, Death Eagle, can he make it back onto the platform? Just in time. The slap connects. Roby stuck on the platform. They're both falling.
Ooh.
Who makes it down first?
Good
Roby. Competing. Roby's just above
the
Death Eagle steals it away at the end. The most intense round we've had is slap battles thus far, and you see the elation on his face, disappointment in the first 2 rounds, and now feeling good off that win.
Oh,
the fans must be real happy after this one. They've given him a nickname. They're calling him the Deagle in chat.
The Deagle. Oh, that is a good nickname.
Wow.
All right. Well, a win that he needs, that is for sure. However, the person he didn't need to get second was Roby. So that's going to keep things tight here as this race is getting into, what was that, our 3rd round here? I think we had 2 more rounds left of slap battles.
Yeah, our umpires, it came so down to the wire. They're still tallying things up to make sure we get everything right here. But you were mentioning it earlier. Doors, a maximum of 100 points here. So even if you're one of these bottom players right now, I'm looking at PokeDragon, Icicle, the guys who have been struggling a little bit more. As long as they are not more than 100 points behind the first player, they still technically have a chance to rally back.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still anyone's game. So do not give up on your favorite player here in chat. Go ahead and show your love for whoever you're rooting for. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that all 3 matches had 3 different winners.
Yeah, a little more competitive than the domination we saw from Antarel in the last game there with Blade Ball.
Right, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You heard it here. Important for our folks. There is still points on the line in the 2 remaining matches. Hopefully, PokeDragon and Icicle can step it up. And again, our friend PokeDragon, the player in red from Canada, is a self-described expert of doors. So is Icicle. So that is their time to shine here. But keep it alive with the right slaps here as we are getting underway and getting our next game ready.
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're conserving their energy for the final match to pull off that miraculous comeback. I would love to see that. That would be intense.
It's a good way to do it. How to shark your opponents. You got to just let those first games flow away and then turn it up when it matters.
Get their guard down, right?
Yeah, when the money's on the line here. So impressive stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah, back in our last game of Blade Ball, it was Jay who pulled off a last-second win, taking home the 5th game of that one. He's in another position to kind of have that rally back towards the end. Born in South Korea, moved over to California when he was young. One of at least 2 players that are local to California playing in this competition today. So for him, definitely looking to get another late win on the board and start to rally his way back up the points.
So, Enyu, as a master of the slap arts, are you seeing kind of a meta forming in this competition? Anything unique popping out here that you weren't expecting in the slap battles rounds?
I personally haven't played the slap battles where the platform falls down, so that is definitely making a huge difference in the players' play styles, I think, rather than just having the original platform. And like I said, I've always been the one to use the OP gloves because I don't have too much skill. I just like slapping people out of the map for fun. So these guys are very good compared to me.
We do have such a mix of the games that I think very naturally fit into like a serious esport. You think something like Rivals, it's an arena FPS. It's like a ton of other arena FPSs that have been popular esports before. But Slap Battles is one that is so unique that it's funny to kind of have the tonal dissidence of this incredibly silly game with these super high stakes and seeing the emotion come off the sleeves of our players while duking it out.
Right, and that's kind of the fun here, as I've nicknamed our ROBLOX Octathlon, a series of skills you would not expect to see in the gaming world here. Again, starting with fashion all the way to shooters and platformers. And today, we're in the reaction speed games with Blade Ball and Slap Battles here. And it's a broad array of skills, which again, these players, again, with the millions and millions who competed in the hunt initially was a game of puzzles and skills and ingenuity and working together to solve really complex kind of mental challenges. Now you're tested on all these other elements of gaming. So these folks truly are masters of so many ways to engage in a digital world here. It's quite impressive.
We talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, but I want to go back because I know you played some of the qualifying rounds to make it in. Can you speak to the challenge that it is? Because 183 people visited that main page. It was truly a difficult run to qualify here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really goes to show what their perseverance, as we mentioned earlier, over 70,000 hours combined from these players.
Right.
The amount of, and it's not just about the skill. You could be very good at the game, but if you don't have the dedication and perseverance to put the time in to the actual event, then you wouldn't have made it here either. So it's very impressive all around.
All right, scores are in. Let's see what we're up to from this match. And it's getting tight at the top here. Anonymous Lime now tied with Mad Max for first place with 32 points each. And Shafe, all right, big comeback from the Death Eagle, who goes from the bottom of the board to fourth place here.
Very good from him. Lime, Mad Max, not just tied in the points for this game. They're both sitting at 123 across our cumulative score here. They're pretty close to Roby and Shafe, our top two.
Is it the same person?
Could be. Just move back and forth really quickly. You'd never know.
They might be. It's Anonymous Lime. We don't know who he is. He could be the Mad Max we've been missing. All right, folks. It's underway. The folks are getting ready to go here. I think we're just getting them in position, and another island battle will be heating up. Scores are tight. We just saw there. I think it's still anyone's game, as we mentioned. I'm excited. Let's see what happens.
Here we go.
Focusing on one of our front runners here, Roby. He had a really good showing in Blade Battles, taking home 59 points there. He only has 21 to his name thus far here in Slap Battles, but still leading in overall points. We'll need to step things up, though, if he wants to keep that position and be the third player in the top four.
Yeah, we're underway. The music is a-bumping and the slaps are a-flowing. The respectable candidates all shaking each other's hands here, saying, hey, let's just hang out in the middle and relax. Although we see some players on the edge here. Let's see if anyone falls. No, Shafe looks like he's going to be sick. No!
Oh.
Anonymous Lime. Big knockout for the team. He has been leading so much here. Him going down first is going to be a crushing loss to his score.
As you can tell by his expression there, devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an important one to keep his hopes alive here. He'd really use slap battles to come back in this competition.
7 people.
All right, some more folks jockeying for position at the edge here. We'll see Roby in a dangerous spot. This could be it. If he goes down here. Oh, and he does.
Called it.
Oh, that is crushing. Oh, but guess what? Death Eagle falls on the other side of the map. Oh, man, the two finalists of our last round, an important game for them both, fall in the bottom three here.
It's been a new winner every time thus far for Slap Battles, and someone else up high in the standings is Shafe. He's going to be one of these final 5 players alive, but close to the edge. He has a battle against Icicle. Knocked off. Shafe is gone. It's going to be all new players in this final 4.
Gosh, that is rough. Poke Dragon, maybe this is his climb to the top here. A first place here is a lot of points he so desperately needs. He's going to have to play this fierce competition at the front of his glove.
His avatar looks like somebody who's just been slapped really hard.
That is true. He's shocked by something.
Those eyes popping out.
Yeah, hopefully it's not his score at the end of this game here because he's going to need it.
Yeah, he said his rival was John from Garfield when he was asked. Interesting response from him. I don't know if that's going to be playing in his head here as he's into the final 3 up against Mad Max, the 2-time runner-up in this game mode thus far. Maybe trying to get his first win on the board against Poke and Jay. And Jay, he's gone down to Mad Max and Poke Dragon. And 1v1, they're both falling. He's on the platform. Who jumps higher?
Oh, was that delayed?
Mad Max! He pulls things through a last-second jump, and after 2 second-place finishes, Mad Max takes home a win in Slap Battles.
Well, that was incredible. I think he actually did get a delay on the dropping platform there, and that was the millisecond he needed to get that win, and just like that. Mad Max is going to take our 4th round of Slap Battles. That's an important one.
Very lucky positioning right there.
It was. Another interesting round coming down to a different set of top 2. And as we've mentioned before, Slap Battles, a lot of variety coming out of our top contestants in that one. Unfortunately, Roby and the Death Eagle fall early on in that one.
And those are things you're never really going to practice for, being both on a falling platform and having to time your jump perfectly to know when you're going to actually die falling off the map. You really got to feel it out, have a little bit of luck, a lot of bit of skill to make it there. And Good thing for Mad Max. I mean, looking so good in the points thus far here for slap battles.
And I also noticed in the fourth round there, it looks like a lot of players kind of spread out to have some 1v1 battles. Let's see if they do that again in the fifth.
Scores are up though, and taking a peek, Mad Max, 2-time runner-up, first-time champion, leading
Last
things
match,
by
you
a
will
solid
win.
amount of
You will
points. They're
win.
up 14
You will
over
win.
Shafe in
Mad
second.
Max.
Yeah, that's a big breakout. He needs that. Mad Max now at 48. That is a huge lead as we see a clustering of all the other players.
So again, as we ready for a final round here, I have to look back at Roby. He has the lead in terms of points right now, but Mad Max has whittled it down to 1. Shafe is only 5 behind as well. So this final round very well may decide who is going to move into the top 4 and claim that second to last spot.
Yeah, and we see Roby in the center of our camera right there. This is so important to him. He came in as a massive leader in slap battles and unfortunately has fallen quite a bit now, and his competition is right on his heels. With multiple players within 5 points and another within, looks like 15, this is still anyone's game.
Roby wants to win this one, not leave it down to the math, get a clean lead out ahead of his opposition. That's his goal in this final round.
You'll see if the players recognize it. There is some chance here for kind of some teaming up on folks as we get a push to the edge here. Who's involved in this? Is that Jay and Roby here? They don't want to go down early.
Managed to escape that.
Yeah. At the same time, though, the players, they don't see the points that we do. They're definitely going to be locked in on the game at hand and just trying to win in every single one of these games.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. Again, these collected points. All right, all right. No one falling early on this one yet. They're all taking it pretty seriously, playing it safe. This is our final round of slap battles. No, as I say it, what happened? We missed it off camera. Roby goes down.
Oh, no.
And that's a last place elimination. That opens the field wide open. So the player down in 4th place, Anonymous Lime, was trailing by
Mad Max
17
stays and
points,
then
maybe
wins,
just out of
he
reach
could,
for him. But Shafe, Mad
get to
Max,
place
those are the players we're looking at here to be able to do it.
That is crushing for Roby. Mad Max must be real excited right now. This is his time to shine. If he can stay on this platform for just a little longer, he might be in the spot to move on, which is kind of a sneak attack here. We didn't see him on the leaderboard at the top coming into slap battles, but showed consistency is key.
Shafe against Icicle.
Mad Max
really wants
goes
to stay alive. And there
down.
goes Mad
Wow.
Max.
That is huge for our score, and I'm not
Mad
sure.
Max
We're going to have to turn to the judges after this to see finals as Jay falls in 6th place.
The way I see it, this game is in Shafe's hands. He was great in SLS, winning every match there. Now needs to secure this win, get as many points as possible to
That
lock
is
in
huge.
that 3rd spot in the top 4.
Yeah, this is his redemption arc for what was a rough SLS. Triple win and not enough to progress here.
He's in the final 3. That already might be good enough. It's going to come down to the wire, though. Icicle near the edge. Shafe in a commanding position, pushing
at
them
him.
both back,
Yeah,
spamming
getting
out
the
the slaps
2v1.
and into a 1v1 now. He's falling, though. An
that's on the
Icicle
platform.
out of nowhere takes home the final round of slap battles.
Icicle is
That was
better.
huge. All right, well, huge implications in our last round there. This is going to mix things up, and I'm not even sure I know. We're going to have to wait to see that scorecard after our judges add that up, and we'll reveal the excitement in this round.
It's such a big question. Did Shafe win enough points to take it over the players up top? Roby, Mad Max, they both went out early. This is going to truly come down to the wire for a 3rd spot.
All right, folks, the dust is still settling. The scores are being added. It is some exciting stuff ahead here. Hopefully we'll find out soon who's moving on.
If I had $1 million, I'd put it on Shafe.
Yeah.
I think he really secured his spot being second in that last round. That was very clutch.
All right, folks. Well, let's tune in to Geach and Sabrina and see what they have to say before we get our final results. Oh, we're here with someone else.
Man, my hands hurt from just watching all of that slapping. Sabrina, if you were a glove, what kind of glove would you be?
Oh my goodness. I would probably be a glove that's similar to Rapture because I really like that ability, but it would probably spray out Bright Juice.
Bright Juice. Okay, well, we're going to check back in with the casters really quick and see what they got going on over there.
None of that. Just controversial. Hello, world. No surprises here.
Yeah, I mean, well, we were just talking about it. They're still figuring out the points for this final round, and I think we have them tallied up now to see where everyone is standing at the end of slap battles. This is just the points for slap battles, though, so not necessarily determinative of who's actually going to be making it through, because it is cumulative, but a very close competition. Mad Max and Shafe came in with a lot of points themselves. You're looking at them as the front runners to make that third spot.
All right. Yeah, an unfortunate final round as we see there. Some of the top players early fell. Roby getting 1 point and 2 points the round before. That is crushing coming in last in slap battles.
Yeah, and for him, I mean, definitely a tough time there. Some moments of greatness, and, well, our umpires, they're still tallying everything up. So let's go ahead and check back in with Digichi Gamer and Sabrina in our green room.
All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We just had to make sure we knew who was on top before we got back into it over here. So you were saying if you had a chance to be a glove, it was going to spray bright juice?
Yeah, that's something I use for luck. Never mind. I can't explain it. But yeah, what do you guys think about the standings?
I'm pretty happy that I saw Icy up there. He was really doing bad on the last game, so I'm actually glad that he kind of came back from this one.
Okay. With that being said, with Icy, kind of pulling back up, are you not worried about having to go up against him?
No, not for the next games. I'm pretty confident for these next two, especially in the top 4 ones. So I think I have a pretty good shot of getting to the grand finals here.
All right. Well, time will tell who advances us next. But joining us now, we have 2 people that you may have already seen or maybe not, who have already punched their ticket to the next round. We have Daddy Dead and Anterel. Welcome, you guys, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Daddy Dead, you've advanced after playing Dress to Impress and Super League Soccer. How did you prepare for such a wide variety of games?
Yeah, I played Dress to Impress for like hours and hours and hours with friends because I think my sense of fashion at first was really bad. I was not confident for Dress to Impress at all, but I was really surprised when I got first on that one round. So, and then Super Soccer League, I mean, I don't know. I thought I did pretty well there. So,
yeah,
just a little bit of practice on that one.
You definitely went crazy on the third round.
That was my favorite on Dress to Impress.
Thank you so much. I like the first one was really good. My second one was pretty bad, I think, but that's okay.
You thought it was bad?
I thought it was bad because I saw everyone else is doing the ice fairy way better than mine, and my colors didn't match, I think. So
okay. Well,
okay.
We are definitely our own harshest critics, for sure.
Yeah. I beat myself a little bit because I thought I could get first, like way better there, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, that's how you do it. Just play with your friends and let them be your critics, and let them judge you and troll you, and then eventually you end up in a competition where you can compete for $1 million maybe and pull it out.
Shout out to Makio for that friend that helped me out.
And so, Anterel, what was your strategy? How did you approach Blade Ball? Like, what was your strategy for that?
Just survive.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, clearly it worked.
All right, so we're gonna take it back to J Party. Thanks, guys, for kicking it with us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next couple of rounds.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. It's good to hear from some of our contestants that have already made it in. But we have another player joining them, and I'm happy to announce our umpires have tallied the score. And the third finalist making it through after the conclusion of slap battles, it's Shafe.
All right, Shafe, congratulations. You've made it through. You get a slightly shorter break, but a break nonetheless. Rocking the orange outfit, it is Shafe. There he comes, the Slap King. Really came back. I think he deserved it. After a really, really impressive Super League Soccer wins across the board, swept it. He needed a big comeback. This was his redemption round. All right, let's check out the leaderboard and see where everyone stands coming out of that competition. All right. And again, a tie now. Roby and Mad Max. But right on their heels is Anonymous Lime. And, of course, the Death Eagle going into a massive scoring game here. Hey, we know by this math, this is a huge point score. So guess what? Anyone could still make it, although Poke Dragon, the man from up north, has a lot of work ahead of him.
That he absolutely does. Roby, though, got to be feeling a little bit rough after placing last in slap battles. Had just a couple points more, and he would have been making it into that top 3. But he has another chance indoors and is still our leading contestant heading into that next game with a lot of really points on the line here, Jay Party.
All right, good stuff. Note to myself, don't try to shake Shafe's hand after this. He might just slap me. But that's not important because right now we're going to hear the rules of our next game. It is the final round of the progression system, and it is an exciting one. If you weren't already on the edge of your seats, you will be, because coming up next, it's Doors.
Game 5, Doors. There is just one free-for-all match. The goal is to avoid attacks and survive. Last one standing wins. The contestant with the highest cumulative score will advance to the round of 4. Here's the scoring for each match.
Yeah. So it's just 1 match.
All right, all right. We are in
Is this ranked mode?
Doors. This is an exciting game. I know a game that a lot of the folks at home are very, very familiar with. But if you heard there, this is something a little different. This is actually a brand new mode released on April 1st. What a good timing for a new mode. That's a whole battle system indoors. This is going to be a whole survival competition between all of our remaining contestants to see who can stick it out, make it the furthest, and survive the longest.
Yeah, I was playing a fair bit of this leading up, and it is so different than normal Doors. Doors is a slow horror game about staying alive and pushing your way through, but now it's really upping the tempo when you're playing in ranked. You run a lot faster, you can slide, there are power-ups, and your main goal is to grief the other players, not work together. The monsters are a problem, but your other contestants are tough as well.
Well, folks, it looks like we might be loading this game and getting into it. And I think we have. This is the kickoff for the last chance to keep someone's hopes alive. One more player will be progressing into the top round of 4. Who will survive and who will fall? One round of Doors is all that stands in their way.
Looks like they can't wait to get out of that elevator.
Yeah, seeing them practicing their jumping. It is worth noting there is some new movement mechanics in this mode, including a slide. And you're going to see when it starts here, I think we're going to delay a little bit here and have them reconnect. But in that time, you're going to see a lot of aggressive forward momentum, a lot of movement. It is a whole different game on Doors. It looks more like a parkour game sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, having reached door 100 many times, being carried by my teammates, I am definitely an expert in Doors as well. But you can see these guys will probably make it past door 50 within less than 5 minutes because of how fast-paced this game mode is. It's going to be intense.
It goes pretty quick, and it also ends a little early. I don't remember exactly what door, but once they get to the end, you get into like this basic sudden death mode where any damage you get from a monster, another player, anything like that will knock you out. And I imagine with how good our contestants are, you were mentioning a few of them have even said that this is one of their specialties. We should be expecting them to go deep here indoors.
Yeah, going to be exciting competition. And maybe we can give a little more background indoors. This mode also has an array of new items that have been added. So while you might be familiar with the monsters, there's a whole new array of objects, different bombs to throw, knock down players, slow them down, do some damage to their health bars, and of course, heal that back up, as well as some fun, unique items hopefully we'll discover throughout the match. Some fun surprises.
Yeah, there's a couple different weapons you can use to basically PvP with the other competitors. There are props, things like chairs, plants, random stuff like that you can throw at them as well to deal damage and put them into a stun state. There's also still limited places to hide, so you can grief other players, steal a closet from them when Rush is coming through and knock them out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one other important thing is all the players, they're very fast at playing the game, and all of them cluster together. It might block your vision with some entities coming your way. You might not even be able to see them with people blocking your vision. So that's going to be a key thing to look out for as well. Could be some unlucky players in this.
Yeah, there absolutely could. And remember, it's only one round of Doors. This is a longer one, so we're only playing it once. But that means pressure is on for players like Poke Dragon, like Icicle, who are sitting lower in the overall standings right now. This is their last chance to compete for that $1 million and make it to the top 4.
All right, folks, you've heard about Doors, but let's talk a little about the creators behind Doors. Doors are made by Lightning Splash, a really awesome and wonderful dev I've had the pleasure of working with and hosting in one of our last award shows. He helped me actually announce some of those prizes. But not only does he make this game, he also produced the entire soundtrack. It makes the
music's good.
The music, right. And that is such an absolutely important and critical part of the horror game world is that sound, that complete immersion you get from wearing your headphones. And so really an incredible work here.
We only have
it is truly an atmospheric experience for sure. Another one of those games that I think has really taken Roblox by storm. But here we go. It looks like the players are all loaded up in the elevator, and we're ready to get things going here. This is Doors competitive. One round and a last chance to make it to the top 4 and have your shot at $1 million.
All right, the first door is open and we are underway here. Gosh, anyone breaking out in the lead early? Well, I'll tell you, it won't matter. This is a lot of game flow, and that's what you're seeing right there. This is a parkour-like experience.
Speed boosts.
Incredibly fast. You're seeing players slide past each other constantly, and while you're playing for speed like it is a race, again, you've got to survive to the end. If you're out, you're out, and that's what's so important here. With up to 100 points for the victor and 0 for the loser here, you do not want to go down early.
No, you do not. 6.5 minutes. That's the maximum time that we're going to have to play this one through. You can see there's different strategies to go for. Do you want to be blazing the trail, being the first player up? There's risks associated with that. You're going to be the first to see the monsters. Or do you want to follow behind? There's risks there too. So in a very fast-paced game mode, you're going to have to make decisions quickly and make the right decisions to stay alive.
There's the first bomb you see being dropped on his opponents.
Yeah, small amounts of damage being done. We see those health bars above. Again, if you're an expert on doors, this could be a new mode for almost everyone out there. So those health bars do matter. That's what's going to be reduced to 0. And there is ways to hurt each other with those items. There are also ways to heal. And there you just saw it there, picking up a heal. That's important there. Keep that topped off. You don't want to get low. It's an unfortunate way to go with another player doing damage to you.
There is also these boost packs on the floor. You see now how ridiculously speedy these players are that can help you go just that bit quicker. And on top of that, the heal items on the floor, that's another thing there. The golden gun picked up and a lot of damage onto, I think that was Lime, knocked down to quite a fair little bit of XP or HP.
Oh, you see another player get hit by something there, and look at that. One health bar is very low on one of our players, and that's a dangerous position to be in. You never know when a single monster sneaks up on you and knocks you out of this competition.
I hear something coming.
I do. I hear it. Can we get?
So what monster is that we're hearing, Enyu?
I barely heard that, but it sounded like it might have been Rush. I didn't see any lights flicker, though.
Yeah. There is a lot of monsters that have to deal with. A lot of this game is kind of having the game knowledge, figuring out which monster you might be facing, what the proper reaction is. If it's something like eyes, you have to look away, but hear that little psst, and you got to look exactly at the monster. So a lot to think about.
Yeah, and Rush is a big one here because you can steal each other's hiding place.
Right there.
There it is. Yeah, we see that sneaking up on you. That's a good one to keep out for. Why the sound design is so important here. We'll see what happens. Uh-oh, it looks like we have our first player falling here. We're going to find out a little bit who that was here. I'm not sure exactly, but...
Looks like it was Anonymous Lime, I believe, that fell. He's looking into the spectator seat, and that's going to be tough. He had 132 points heading into this round, but that could be the end for Anonymous Lime.
Yeah, the first to drop is getting 0, so it's a crushing blow as you could be in first place and still drop to last just from this competition if you don't place high enough.
Unfortunate for Lime there, but the rest of the players still
made
in the
it just in time. Wow.
And that was Rush that we're seeing, right? So
Yes.
what's the deal? How do you avoid that monster?
Must hide in the closet, or if I noticed one player had a hiding box, might have used that to avoid death.
That's an important one. Allows you to keep your place in the lead if you bring the box with you. But again, health dropping low here. Looks like BraedenGplayz is running real low on health. He's going to need a health pickup, or he's in a rough spot where another player could knock you out.
Remember, coming into this Roby 100, Mad Max, they were tied 141 points apiece. So just one place difference for the two of those will make or break your chance at $1 million.
Yeah, but it also means all of our top 4 players, including the Death Eagle, are within 20 points of each other, meaning you take that first place spot, you can knock all of the other competition out of here and secure the last spot.
When you look at someone like Icicle, like Dragon as well, towards the lower part of our standings, they're preying on the downfall. Not only do they have to win, but they have to prey on the downfall of our top players. So for them, Anonymous Lime losing out this early actually gives them a greater chance as we go deeper into doors.
Yeah, it's huge. It knocks the tournament wide open here and allows some of these players to have a real shot at getting at the last spot in the top 4.
You have a lot more agency than in the other game modes of how to take other people down. So if I was someone like Dragon, like Icicle, I would be trying my hardest to grief Roby, grief Mad Max, try and get them out, because those are your biggest threats right now.
Don't give them any ideas.
We'll see. They all seem pretty focused. And again, it is a dark and fast-paced world here. I know it can be challenging for the players to get a sense of where the competition is at while not falling too far behind, which is a quick way for a swift exit if you fall too far behind. Gain some mechanics to ensure you're out of it.
Finals is 1 game.
So we hear another monster close in here. Just taking a second to enjoy the sounds of what is an incredible top horror game in the world.
And you talked about this music. It's so impressive that a dev was able to just put that together as Dragon gets a little jump scared, but still alive on a sliver of health.
Yeah, his dreams of this competition are still going on that last sliver. We'll see if he can find any relief, or if he's going to get knocked out by even another player with that low health.
Still 6 players left, but as I say that, someone falls. Who did we just lose? That was Icicle. And coming into this with 107 points, only receiving 10 from his finish. That should be the end of Icicle as well. But good news for the lower players, Mad Max is gone.
Oh, this is huge with Mad Max dropping again, one of our leading players. This means Roby and the Death Eagle are still very much so in this.
Hoping Dragon's dream stays alive as well.
Okay, we've got a lot of points still ahead here as we're getting deeper and deeper into the doors puzzle. I'm not even, do you guys know what door we're on here? I'm having a hard time just even keeping track of how quick they're moving.
Our contestants are moving so fast, it's almost impossible to tell. Eyes spotted Screech as well there for Jay. He avoids it and stays alive.
Yeah, good camera work. And it's important to note from the observers, those quick spins, those quick turns, they matter so very much in this game. Those are all tactical. You are looking for monsters. You are getting the response. Did someone fall here? No. Death Eagle gets caught. We hear some emotion coming out behind us, but he is not out of this. Thankfully, he had the HP bar to deal with that.
I think I saw door 68 there. 69, 70, and they're still going.
Ooh, I think narrowly avoiding Eyes there and Rush as well, but someone falls to Rush. Who was that we just lost? That was Poke Dragon.
Oh.
And coming in with only 75 points, receiving 30 for that finish. It's not going to be them moving on either.
Who is it?
Right, well, folks, this actually is an exciting trio because this order does matter as you are fighting for your life here. Roby and the Death Eagle in a good spot, but guess what? I believe 3J still has a chance here if he can be the top finisher and knock Roby down.
Every one of these positions gets you 20 points ahead of your next opponent. The Death Eagle is within 20 of Roby. 3J is just about 22 behind the top finisher as well. So he basically needs to win and have Roby be the next out if he wants to make it here.
Time is ticking. After these final 5 seconds, HP bars will not matter. We'll drop down to 1, which someone has an offensive item.
That's a very
Sudden
big
death
pickup.
has begun.
Stop sign could put an end to it. Jay has his chance. Death Eagle
Boom,
is
Jay
gone.
goes down. And this is it. The winner of this will actually be the survival. Wait, who just went down here? Was this
It's
Jay?
Roby against 3J.
Jay, all right.
1v1. The first one to land any damage will take this one home. Roby, though, came in as the points leader, has his chance to shore things up, and finds a hiding position.
Wow.
He wins it.
Oh, and just like that.
He led in points heading into doors, and he'll come out with 100 more. Roby, an incredible performance by him. We'll have to tally it up, but that should put him in a position to make it.
His usual stoicism broken for a brief smile. We hope we enjoyed that. That is a huge victory. The winner of doors and a massive return to form for Roby, a definite fan favorite from early on in this competition.
And, you know, it's amazing. He was a step away. He was the worst performing player in slap battles after coming in with the most points. He comes in with the most points again, finds his redemption indoors.
Didn't have to call him out like that, but yes, congratulations to him. And also amazing commentary on you guys' end there, because I was just trying to keep up the whole time and I could not.
It is
I
an
had
overwhelming
no idea what was going on. Like I said, I've always been carried indoors my entire career, so seeing players play individually is very impressive.
Well, that's a wrap for doors, and more importantly, a wrap on our qualifying round. And well, the umpires verify the ratings and update the leaderboard. Let's get some reactions from Geach and Sabrina.
My initial reaction, wow. Just wow. That was some next level gameplay.
Yeah,
How long do you think you would have survived, Sabrina?
I would have ran into the wall and died immediately. That was way different than normal doors that I played.
Like,
It was so
3J,
fast.
Yeah, my eyes could
like,
barely keep up. It's already moving fast, but then we're zooming between the screens too.
How did they know what to do?
I couldn't tell you. There was so much going on. And that level was really different.
Yeah. And they were able to sabotage each other?
Yeah,
Was I seeing that?
That's a pretty cool addition to doors, you know, as complicated as it already is. And then now you're playing against people, not just alongside each other. Because I guess typically when you play doors, you're working as a unit, you know, working together to get as far as you possibly can together. And now we're adding in the element of competition, which takes it to a new level.
So in that case, I would not survive very long.
Yeah,
To
no.
answer your question.
I hear you. I'm not making it out of the lobby. Like, well, I guess the
There's
elevator.
gonna be no videos.
I'm not making it out of the elevator.
Is that as far as you've made it?
No.
Actually, I think I've gotten. I've made it to the library before, where you kind of have to be
That's
stealthy.
far. That's pretty far.
I'd say yes. You know,
but
maybe I've had to use a Robux or two, you know, to buy a revive. Because
I have had my fair share of pay to win.
yeah, I mean, well, I can't even say pay to win because
Yeah, you can't really pay to win.
I didn't win. I didn't win. I
Oh.
just came back a couple of times
Okay.
to try and get a little further. It's the once those chase scenes start with that big long monster, like down the hallways and stuff in the library. That's just kind of like it for me. You
The
gotta,
soundtrack too, and all of the monsters, like all the sound design is so phenomenal. I am curious, did you experience April Fools indoors last year?
No, because how things work for me is once I get to a point where I just realize that it's not really for me because I love doors.
You said your favorite genre was horror.
Yeah, but see, it's the stealth factor because I love horror. It's fun, right? But then with doors, it's a little different. You have so many other factors. It's puzzle, which I also like that too. But it's the sneaking through. I'm telling you, because that's the furthest I ever get is that doggone library with that monster kind of tiptoeing around. And somehow I'm not good at that. I can't really get through. So yeah, the furthest I've probably gotten is that. But no, I didn't get to do the April Fool's one. It's been a minute since I played doors.
Yeah, the April Fool's one was totally done by mouth. All the sound design. It was the developers. They mouthed everything, like the music and everything. It was very funny.
Do you remember how it went? Can you sing it?
Dude.
Are we gonna get copyright?
No, I don't think I'm gonna do it.
No, are we? No. Okay. Well, let's.
Okay. Should we take a look at the chat?
What's
See what the chat is saying?
The chat was really excited for doors. That's all they were asking for all day: slap battles and doors. So I feel like they finally got what they wanted.
They are screaming, "We believe in you, Eagle."
Oh,
okay, Eagle.
And the chat's been rooting hard for Eagle from the beginning too. Eagle, you got a solid fan base.
Dang. Okay. Roby though, Roby is doing a really good job.
Let's talk about Roby being the sleeper here for real, because I feel like Roby's been kind of killing it all the way through, but it's always just been like he's always been falling just a little bit short. Yeah. But it's like he's been really pulling it out. Last minute. Roby is clutch. Roby is the definition of clutch. That's what we really got going on here.
So you said that your favorite genre is horror, but you haven't beat doors. And I'm just curious, what makes a Roblox game instantly fun for you?
For me, definitely shareability. I just made that up because I love to play games with my friends or my community. Shout out Geechee Gang. I love to be able to play games and introduce people to the things I love, including
that's what Roblox is about.
It's perfect for that. So I really love that. Funny enough, I want to say Slap Battles was probably like the first game where I really said
I like games.
I have to tell everybody about this. This is hilarious. It's a lot. It's very fast paced a little bit, but it was so funny to me to watch.
I'm really bad at slap battles, but I did beat the developer, and he did say he could give me an admin glove, so maybe I'll follow up on that.
What does an admin glove even consist of? What can you do?
I don't know. I have no idea, but that would be pretty cool.
You know what I would do if I could create a glove? I'd make a zombie glove, right? Hear me out. So,
okay,
you take your zombie glove and you start smacking people, and every time you smack somebody, you're now in control of them. Now they go do your dirty work for you, and they just go wipe off the rest of the map for you. So now you can do like Roby, kick it in the tree somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And just sit back and kind of just watch your work. I think I'd go with that.
Okay. I'm gonna look more at the chat over here now that we're probably caught up.
And so, with that being said, I talked about how I really enjoy being able to share, my moments in my games with my friends and stuff like that. And this was a really cool opportunity for that as well, because, this is the first event of its kind. What are some events involving Roblox that you've been able to participate in? Because you said you did the hunt itself. So what are some other events that you've done?
My favorite event was definitely RPO Egg Hunt 2018. It like changed my life kind of. It made me really look at Roblox differently. It was all about community, all about working together. And so we made an event that was really heavily inspired by it, called RV Battles.
I was gonna say the chat has been talking about that too. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we make a championship series sometimes. We've done 3, and we love to do something similar to this. And so this is exactly what I think the community was asking for with the hunt, with all the secrets and the hunting and everything. Roblox super delivered on that. And I think it's been really, really well done. I participated in the whole thing. And I moving on. Any updates, J Party?
Please tell us.
A reminder that scores are cumulative for this round. So the contestants with the most points from all 5 games will be advancing. And even though only one of you will be moving on, you all get a good shout out and be proud of yourselves. With 180 million visits to this hub, you had a lot of competition and proved these were the top 10 best in the world. You did incredible work. You solved incredible things and cemented each and every one of you in Roblox history as legends in the Hunt Mega Final.
Who's going through?
But without further ado, while we celebrate our last progress into the top 4, we want to say goodbye to our heartfelt competitors who had a good run today. So
Goodbye.
let's find out who's going home right now. Heading out first, unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye today to our friend from up north, PokeDragon 100,000. You did great. Take your final walk away from the stage. Thank you, PokeDragon 100,000. All right. Going on next, we're going to have a heartfelt goodbye to Icicle. Come on out. You did fantastic. I think you had some wonderful wins, some wonderful moments. Unfortunately, we're saying goodbye today. Coming out next from our competition is, unfortunately, Anonymous Lime. We have to say goodbye today. You did fantastic work. Can't say enough. Again, beating millions and millions out for their spot today in the top 10 Anonymous Lime. Thanks again.
Goodbye.
All right, heading out next of our competition is the one and only Mad Max. We're sorry to say goodbye. A fantastic run. Again, thank you so much for all your hard work. That was exciting stuff. And now the next unfortunate contestant to head out of this competition is the Death Eagle. Say goodbye. You got a lot more fans today from the chats at home. The Death Eagle, wonderful stuff. Wonderful job. Incredible highlights. And that was incredible to see. All right, folks, they have been eliminated, but guess what? We have 2 folks remaining. We're going to announce our winner. But first, why don't we bring them up? Why don't you come up here and join me in the middle of the stage here? Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. This is good. This is good. All right. All right, folks, come on down. Let's put one of you. Yeah, we'll have you here, over here. Excellent. All right. How we feeling? Time to relax? Still amped?
So many emotions running through my head right now.
All right, folks. Well, this was a wild journey. And after 5 games, you 2 hold the highest scores, which means one of you will be moving on into the next round, and the other is unfortunately going home for now. All right. Without further ado, the contestant with the highest score today is Roby100. You are moving on. Thank you, sir. A big round of applause. A handshake today. Really appreciate it, 3J. Hey, you did great stuff. Get in here. Whatever we need. Wonderful work, my friend. We'll see you soon. All right. Again, 3J, thanks for all your hard work. This was an incredible journey, incredible performance. But today, Roby, you just entered your top 4. Are you ready? You're going to be in it.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I mean, like that last round, like it all came down to that final game. Like, so everyone was so close. Like I was like, bro, that was the most stressful game of doors I've ever played in my entire life. Like, bro, I was shaking the whole time. I was just so locked in. That was the only thoughts going through my mind were doors, hide here, hide here. Oh, there's a thing coming. Hide in here. I was like, bro, it's actually. But yeah, it was. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the.
Well, that was incredible. You already hear the most stressful game, the most stressful mode, and the most stressful performance. But guess what? You made it. Take a deep breath. You've got a whole new world of competition ahead of you, and 3 other challengers await you in the back. But for now, incredible stuff. You showed amazing perseverance today. And again, that's a big time. How'd you prepare for today?
I played a lot of games. I honestly, I practiced doors the most. So that really came in clutch there at the end. I was like, after the mode came out, April 1st, I just played it for hours until I had to leave to California. And that worked out in the end. So I'm glad I did that.
Do you typically win when you play online with all the other folks, just in the general Roblox population?
I hold my place. I do fairly well. Yeah, I was really close to edging out those few other rounds, and then right at the end.
All right, incredible stuff, Roby100. Thanks you again. You're going to join your fellow competitors in the top 4, and we'll let you go and do that because we're going to get ready for the next round. It is exciting. It is a competition that is just heating up. But wait a minute, I just got word that we've got a surprise guest. I think they're going to share their thoughts. Maybe we can jump over to our correspondence team and see who we've just got.
Thanks, Jay Party. Joining us to give his analysis is content creator, doors expert, Craft.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We are excellent. We are on the edge of our seats through this competition.
I know this has been like so crazy to watch, just like back and forth. Like I'm sweating over here, and I'm not even
Me
playing.
too. That was so suspenseful, but Creek, how are you feeling about what just happened?
I don't think I've ever seen a game of doors played like that. Like it was so fast. I couldn't even tell at some points what was going on because they were just going so fast. They were moving so fast. It was crazy.
Those were exactly my words.
Yeah, it was quick. Have you ever considered like what it might be like to play a game of Doors with all these added features to it? Because now you've got attacks, you've got bombs, you've got weapons, you've got extra attack. Now you're playing against people instead of just playing it to win it. How do you approach something like that?
You know, before I saw them play, I was like, you know what? I think I'd be pretty good at this. And now it's like, no, I'll let them play. I'll just sit over here and watch from the sideline.
He's also
No way, Jose.
So are you saying you would not play against any of these guys?
Yeah, definitely not for money. We'll say that. Like for funsies, maybe, but money on the line, ain't no way. None of them. No.
You think you can handle that pressure?
No. I'm feeling the pressure here, and I'm not even in it.
So who do you think is going to win?
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. I feel like the fan favorite right now is Roby. But I don't know. They're so good. I guess we'll see what happens next.
For sure. Sorry, go ahead.
You can go.
Okay, so I want to know, how did you feel? Because, you've been watching. How do you feel about these guys' performance? So we have Duddy Dud, Anterel, Shafe, and now Roby. How do you feel about their performance up to this point?
Watching Blade Ball was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen someone so good at that game in my life. Like, it just constantly winning every round. Like, impressive. Super impressive. I'd never want to go up against him in my life.
Whose dress to impress outfit was your favorite?
It's funny because I'm kind of bad at the game a little bit. So I was just watching it and I could tell that it probably wasn't their number one game on Roblox. So like I was I'm like, okay, I see what's happening here. I gotta go with man, I don't even know. I think the second round, I think Iron Mouse said this. I think the second round, they did a lot better than the first round. They were a little bit more like acclimated with the game, a little bit more prepared, knew where everything was at. So I don't know any specifics. The one with the double wings, who was that?
Yes, that was
Death Eagle.
Eagle, yes.
Death Eagle, Deagle, yeah, him. That one was probably my favorite. Deagle's his new name.
That was my favorite as well.
I think everybody really did like that one. That was a huge hit with everybody watching.
Who do you think would do better in a racing game?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like the more like twitchy movements of like Blade Ball and like Doors would probably be a little bit like helpful. So I'm gonna go with Anterel on that one.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say Anterel or Roby myself.
I was going to say the exact same thing because the way that Anterel's reflexes worked for Blade Ball really worked in his favor. But then the maneuvering that Roby, applied to get through Doors, even when it seemed like, we didn't know how that was going to go, that's definitely going to work in their favor for the racing one.
Yeah, they all survived like really long too on that. I was playing a little bit of the Doors game mode since it came out. And like typically they go kind of fast, but they were hanging in there. Everybody did like a really, really good job. Came down to it.
So what was your favorite part so far of this entire competition?
Ooh, it was okay. Probably the back and forth in soccer, Super League soccer was crazy. That was very exciting to watch. And then of course slap battles, because it's such a funny game. Just people just slapping and farting all over the map. But there's $1 million on the line, So
I was gonna ask
to pick, I'd say slap battles.
Slap battles. All right. So how would you approach that if you were, in that slap battles? Because now you had to factor in the level kind of being destroyed as you go. Do you think you could have handled that?
Look, I don't really play slap battles that much anymore because every time I do, I get destroyed by a bunch of 8-year-olds on their iPads, and it makes me so sad. So I probably wouldn't even make it to that far in the competition, to be honest with you.
Okay, I have a question for you, Greek. Who's more likely to open a cursed door, me or Geach?
Ooh. That's a good question. Deej, you said you haven't played Doors that much, right?
No, I've definitely played it. It's played me more than I've played it, for sure. But yeah, I've got a little experience with it,
I'm I'm gonna go with Sabrina. I feel like you're a little bit more unlucky in games like this.
What? Listen, I beat pressure, okay? I beat the mega token. Come on.
That one was hard. Was that you said that was your hardest one, right?
Yes, it was. It was my hardest one. But I also have gotten further than her indoors.
Allegedly.
But I'll take it. I'm the one that'll probably open the curse door. You were probably correct.
I will say though, although I haven't played a lot, I haven't gotten very far indoors. It only took one cursed door for me to never do it again. And that was way in the beginning. So I'm just saying, you know.
What even is a cursed door?
Oh, so now you don't know. She doesn't know what a cursed door is, you guys. No, so for those of you who don't know, you know, indoors, you have to find the correct door. The cursed door is when you happen to step into the incorrect door. So if you're on the wrong floor, you think you're going to 16, but really you've already done 16. You go into the 16 door, you're insta-kill. That's it for you. Game over. So yeah, like I said, it only took me one time. Never had to do it again.
You get jump scared.
Oh, I'm so
not a fun time.
Oh, listen, I'm so easily jump scared. That's the problem. See, my nerves, my anxiety is so bad, but I love horror so much, so I can't help myself. I don't know what it is, but yeah, those jump scares.
What about you? What about Creek? How many times have you screamed at doors?
Oh man, I remember when the cursed doors, I think they're called the mimic doors. They first came out, and I didn't know what it was yet. And that first time, it like really got me. I like to think I'm a little bit better at it now, but see, the problem is remembering what door you're on.
Yep.
And I have the memory of a goldfish. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or not, but like I get really bad at that, and so it's not a fun time for me.
Dang. Well, I'll make sure we have you playing more scary games.
See now I want to see what it's like for you to play this new level, this new version of door. I want to see you do the competitive mode now, because even though you were like, oh yeah, you know, that in the beginning, you know, it kind of got me a little bit. I just feel like you're too comfortable. So now I feel like you got to really push yourself and get into like the new modes and see how you can hang with the folks throwing grenades at you while you're sliding under a wall and also trying to ward off a screech.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll reach out to one of these guys at the end, and maybe we can arrange something and see just how I do. I'll probably die in the first 5 seconds, but we'll see.
Do you have a favorite entity / monster?
Oh, see, okay. From looks, I gotta go. This is about to be the most long-winded answer of all
Take your time.
Like,
Yes, do it, please. Let's hear it.
So I like Figure because I think he's probably like the most iconic in terms of like villains for doors. My favorite entity though is probably got to be the new Sally window entity that I think was like a few updates ago. They added Sally in. My least favorite though, got to go with Ambush. Hearing Ambush come, it like my heart drops. What about you guys?
I don't know. I hate Screech because he's just annoying. But a favorite, I was saying Rush earlier because I just made up a stupid reason because I would never mind. Don't even listen to me.
Because you would rush.
Okay, so I asked her, I said, if you could partner up with one of the entities, which one would it be? Yeah. But thank you so much, Creek. Entertaining as always. Appreciate you for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And keep up the good work. This is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to throw it back to J Party. Come on, J Party, tell us where we are.
All right, my friends, we are back. Creek, always a pleasure to see you. I hope we hang out again soon. But folks, we're going to keep things moving and kick off the round of 4, which is, of course, a double elimination challenge. Win twice, you're in. Lose twice, and you are out.
Oh, okay.
And all 4 players will play both Driving Empire
And
Rivals. So you'll be getting some driving and some shooting in to see who's the best. All right, folks, get ready for some adrenaline-pumping racing action, because Driving Empire is going to start our round off with the final round of 4.
6, Driving Empire. There are 2 matches in a 1 versus 1 format. Whoever crosses the finish line first wins. All 4 contestants will advance to the next game.
And do they do the same thing?
All right. We're in for Driving Empire. Folks, how familiar are you with Driving Empire, or maybe driving in general?
I haven't known to drive here and there in real life. Driving Empire though, not so much. I think I have played it once before for a different event, so not too familiar with it.
I don't have a car in real life, but I've played Driving Empire a fair bit. It's a really fun game. It's cool. It's one of those kind of special games. You have a ton of licensed cars. You have a ton of options to choose from. Today, all our contestants are going to be rocking the same vehicle to put us on a level playing field. But it's definitely an intense one. Going head-to-head in a race against one other contestant, you make one mistake. You turn slightly too much into a corner. You collide with one thing, and that could set you back for this entire race. And now no one's going to be eliminated in Driving Empire, but if you lose Driving Empire, you lose your opportunity to be the undefeated player into the $1 million round, which is an absolutely huge advantage there.
All right, let's check out some shots and remind the folks at home who exactly is in this Final Four competition. And here they are. We have rearranged the studio. You're seeing Shafe and Roby here. Roby coming off an intense win indoors to secure his spot as the fourth finalist here. Exciting stuff. I know Shafe's had a bit of a break now. He's been able to breathe, collect his thoughts. Here we are in the new studio, thinking things out, getting set up in the game. It's exciting stuff. I know, yeah, Roby, a big fan from the chat out there. Hopefully he's got his fans still supporting him now in the top four. And again, Dud and Antarel, the first two to qualify, they truly just cleaned up in the initial rounds.
And if you were playing, would you rather have qualified early like someone like Antarel or Dud, or would you rather come in hot after playing through every one of the qualifying round games?
I mean, it is a little risky, but I definitely would have loved to be in Roby's position just because he had played a more larger variety of games and definitely warmed up and got the adrenaline going. So I see him doing some good work in the next few rounds.
All right, all right. We'll see if that momentum can keep him moving forward or if the pause will be too much. Anyway, it's time to get things going. We're moving into Driving Empire. Let's kick things off with our first round. We're going to see who the top two racers are. And again, this is a 1v1 race. They'll both be driving the 2024 GT Mark II around an exciting track, and there will be no collision on. Truly a time trial against one other player to see who's on top.
Well, it's the green car versus the light blue car. Roby against Dud in our first round here. And they're revving up their engines, ready to go and get us off to the races here.
All right, we are underway here, right on this bridge start here. This is going to be 3 laps around this arena. And this is an interesting course. There actually is a handful of shortcuts throughout it as, ooh, we see some stuttering on that first turn there. And then we see our first opportunity for a shortcut not taken by the blue player. Roby fell a little behind. A lot of race to go, though.
The risk with the shortcuts is if you don't land them perfectly, you can end up flipping your vehicle or kind of veering off in a weird way. So you really have to consider, and you see the second shortcut. The blue car takes that. That's Dud now pulling ahead here, but catching up with a lot of speed is Roby on the overtake. He's out in front again.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. You saw the shortcut take, but again, going through the dirt, there's going to slow your car down on that attempt for a max speed maneuver. But, ooh, this dangerous turn, we've seen this cost a lot of players time here. And they kind of weave their way through it with Roby actually getting in the lead there, taking a little bit of a tiny shortcut, but still neck and neck.
Very close competition. It's 3 laps around the course. We're about halfway through our second. Shortcut taken for Dud, and that's going to get him back into the lead here. But just around the corner, they're very close. I think right on each other's tails here.
How important you think map knowledge is compared to actual cornering skills and speed?
Yeah, I think the map knowledge is incredibly important because that's where you got to apply your skills. And again, with a high speed shift, if you look at those mile-per-hour drops, it's huge. People are dropping almost 0 on some of these incredibly tight turns, and it's an important part of it.
Well, just around the corner from each other, Roby is trailing. He won that last round, the final player to qualify to this top 4, and he's falling behind in this race. Dud, he takes the corner here. How close is that green car? Does he have a chance to catch up? Because Dud is doing this one perfectly through the finish line. He'll take this home in first place as Roby rounds through in the second place of this round. And for Dud, an opportunity now to head into Rivals as a victor in the first round, maintain his second life, and for Roby, it's going to be last chances here when he heads to Rivals.
You know, true Roby style, he's got to keep it entertaining, taking a quick loss here in his first elimination. He's still in it. We want you to know that clearly, but he's only got one more chance to stay alive because, again, he keeps the drama flowing. But an exciting win. All right, folks, let's check out this Final Four leaderboard and see where we stand. This is how we're going to go through the double elimination here with Dud taking the win and Roby taking the loss.
So this might look a little confusing. It's as simple as an O means they won the round, the X means they lost it. It's all 1v1, so you'll only ever see 2 players represented per round. You have to win 2 before you lose 2, which means at maximum, you'll play 1 round of Driving Empire and 2 of Rivals. The win here for Dudadud. As we're mentioning, though, it means when he heads into Rivals, he'll have 2 matches and 2 opportunities to qualify.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just taking a look at the chat here while you were talking. We put up a vote on who will win this round, and it looks like the fans were supporting Roby. So hopefully he makes his comeback going into Rivals.
Well, we appreciate his drama. All right, 1 match down and 1 more to go. Coming up next, we've got Antarel and Shafe heading in with the orange and gray car. We're
I like
gonna
that
Shafe
orange color.
in the orange. Yeah, it's a good color. We appreciate them matching their jersey colors for this competition.
Dang.
And here is the warm-up. Let's see who will get first off the gun here. Exciting times. And all right, across the bridge they go. No initial mistakes from either player. Coming into this first bank, this is where we see the people going a little too quick, hit this rock wall, and take a huge loss. But no, clean for both of them.
Very nice cornering from Antarel, the player with the most Roblox experience. 16 years since he first played a game on the platform. Still looking strong in this one.
Yeah, they've come a long way, I'm sure, from what his first game was that first week of the platform. But hey, still going strong.
No one's electing to take that ramp.
Oh, there's a crash there. I think Shafe might have just fallen, or Antarel, that is, might have just fallen behind. Yeah,
Wow.
Antarel had the opportunity, and unfortunately, he falls into a trail position here.
Yeah, huge mistake there. Flies off the course and loses a ton of time. But that's what shows you it's still anyone's game within this race.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to need those shortcuts. Now's the time to put it all on the line and just take every shortcut you can.
Shafe, he had a job opportunity in New York City. He put off his orientation for that job to take the risk. Come here, compete for $1 million. Truly putting important things in his life on hold to put it all out there for us. And at least thus far, getting rewarded. We're heading towards the final lap, and it's still a good lead for Shafe, but one mistake, and Antarel will be right on him.
That was a great backstory. That almost had me in tears.
Well, so far looking like a good choice as he is in the top 4. That $1 million signing bonus could be a thing. Although for now, this race is looking a little rough as he still falls further behind here. Shafe has taken a dramatic lead. We'll see if he crashes. That's kind of what he's relying on at this point as he comes through one of the final banks here before the straightaway across the bridge. And that is a good high-speed moment for them.
We're coming up towards the final corners, and Shafe, he hasn't made a mistake yet. He'll round the corner and take things home.
Oh, man. Good thing he clears that.
Into the water. He hits the final checkpoint, and Shafe wins his round. He'll face up against Dudadud in the 1-0 game when we head over to Rivals. It really goes to show that in Driving Empire, one mistake, that's all it takes to lose out. Antarel was looking great, but crashes once and he's out.
Yeah, I mean, how long did each lap take? Like under a minute?
Yeah, that's
Very
a fast
fast
game.
A lot of time to catch up.
You know, in true racing style, we appreciate the Driving Empire folks. But hey, I think it's time to check out this leaderboard and see the results of this match.
And there it is. Shafe with a win. Dudadud undefeated as well. So Roby and Antarel, they'll be facing elimination in Rivals.
An exciting, exciting game. Roby, keeping it dramatic as always. We'll see who can do it. Antarel, the defensive player of the early game soccer, coming through here to the shooters.
Roby
We'll
loses.
see if he can keep it going.
He's going home.
I think
and if he
every
does
viewer
win,
is
he's not
foaming at the
going on
mouth to watch Rivals coming up next.
Hey, but first, let's check in with our correspondents, Team All-Stars. Geesh and Sabrina, what's going on, you two?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to catch my breath. That was some high speed, high stakes racing. Sabrina, what did we just witness?
We witnessed some intense racing. I thought that like at first it was gonna be really close, and then at the very end, like Shafe got really in front.
Yeah. It seemed like it kind of happened that way with both races too.
They were just neck and neck for like most of it until the very end.
Right, because you figure the first race you had who did we have? Dud and Roby, which I was really sad to see them go against each other because I wanted to see them go a little further together. But excuse me, y'all. You know, I kind of been watching both of them, and you know they've both exhibited such high skill level as it's come to all of these games. And we even talked about with Creek, you know, who did we think would have more of the advantage when it came to the racing game? And then we had, you know, Roby with the maneuvering, and then we had Antarel,
like going off the edge and like doing the really quick turnaround.
Right.
That was like pretty, it looks like they practiced that map a lot.
Right. And then also Antarel with blade ball, you know, being so quick on the draw and, you know, just that same, you know, level of maneuvering. And both of them got beat.
Yep.
I didn't see that coming. I mean, shout out to you guys. You did it. You know, you did the thing. But you know.
Some of them still have chances. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty fun to see how this goes. Moving into Rivals now because, you know, you still with that at this point, you got to have like actual skill. You have to have, game IQ. You got to have the quick reflexes. You've got to have, the movement, you got to be quick, so
I'm not good at that.
I'm not either. That's why
I'm not in the top 10.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I got a question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done some interesting brand collabs in this game. Which one are you most impressed with? McLaren, Porsche, or NASCAR?
Oh, honestly, I'm impressed. I'm super impressed that anybody could get McLaren on board. You know what I'm saying? That's really dope. So yeah, I think that's I'd have to say that one.
Okay. Well, we're gonna give it right back to J Party and look at the score.
All right. Thank you, and welcome back to our competition here. Things are just heating up, and we're going to get this next round underway, folks. So, if I understand correctly, coming up, it's going to be the intense elimination matches happening on Rivals. Mimi, what do you think?
I mean, I just think that was such a good time to start already in Driving Empire. But Rivals was a match that I was the most excited to get into here. I think this is going to be just a true test of reactions, of game knowledge, and the way that you position. There's a lot to think about when you're going into Rivals.
Well, yeah, in my personal opinion as well, a 1v1 in a first-person shooter is the true test to see a gamer's true skills. So definitely very excited to see that.
Great, folks. Well, Doodadud and Shafe are 1 win away from advancing. If you thought things were already intense, get ready, because Rivals is coming up next.
Game 7, Rivals. There are 3 matches in a 1 versus 1 format. Contestants must choose their weapon, then kill their opponent to win. 2 contestants will advance to the final $1 million round.
Here we go, our first match of Rivals, where we will find out our first contestant making it to the $1 million round. It's Doodadud and Shafe taking stage. Let's hop into our first match here. When we're talking about Rivals, guys, there's really a lot to think about. I think first and foremost, as the players are working through it now, is the item bans. You can choose what map you're going to, what weapons you're taking away, and try and strategize early on.
Right, yeah. I mean, not just aiming and reaction time, but gun selection is very key to the in the 1v1s.
Yeah, it absolutely is. He's going to go over and get ready to receive our winner who makes it to that top 2.
You're leaving us.
We're going to be finding out. I mean, he's got to grit whoever wins this round, but it's first to 5. Our map is selected, and we are just about ready to go.
First round in construction.
What are we looking for in this map, Enya?
I think that moving a container box in the middle is a very good way to distract your opponent. A lot of head glitches, I feel like, on this map, so hopefully the players use that to their advantage.
Interesting. In the blue there, going to be the minigun selected. A little different from what we've seen before. Let's see if we can hop into one of our players' POVs and really get a look at the action here. Down in the low ground is Shafe trying to find connections. Low ammo on that weapon, and he'll find the reload. Has to dip out and find cover. Again, damage on both sides. Minigun trying to find the connection. He's spamming away. Both down to 1 HP, and Shafe. It's the first round on the board.
Very well done. I wonder why Doodadud there gave up his high ground there for a second. Not sure, but they're better than me, so I'm sure he made the right choice.
They are. Good damage going through, bursting out of ammo, switches to secondary. Wow. 1 shot straight to the dome.
Always love seeing revolver kills. They're very satisfying.
Shafe up 2-0 now. Remember, it's first to 5 in this round of competition. More headshots landing for Shafe. He has been so precise in this match thus far. And Doodadud has to rally here. Reflections onto the minigun fire, but it's Shafe yet again, going huge for 3 NU.
That is it. This might be turning out to be a blowout. I would hate to see it. See if Doodadud can make a comeback.
Shafe, you see him good with the movement. Gets the drop on his opponent, but eats some damage back. Katana on the reflection. No shots received off of it, but that's good. Lots of damage exchanged on his first burst of the AR. Finds time for a reload, and did he fall off the map? Oh, that's a fumble you can't have at this point in the tournament.
The self-sabotage. That is sad. That is very unfortunate.
And that's when the pressure gets to you.
Oh, using the
One
environment?
little mistake. Another chance. This could be the closeout. Trying to use the slingshot of all weapons.
Interesting choice.
And trying to stay alive here for Doodadud and make it as that undefeated contestant to the obby.
You'd wonder if that's a secret weapon or if he's giving up on the competition.
You know he wants that $1 million more than anything. You know what this means to these contestants. He's really trying to bait Shafe into the low ground. Shafe, though, not taking the bait. He wants to hold his strong positioning up top and force his opponent to go on the offensive. Good damage, and finally Shafe falls. A chance here,
Right.
but a slim one. He'd have to run it all the way back.
He's got to get 4 more in a row, which is a very difficult.
Shafe back to his same position. Finds his opponent in the center. That's good damage. Finds a space for a reload. He's 1 kill away from the $1 million round. Good damage on a Dududu. Can Shafe do it? His opponent's on 1 HP and with the revolver. Shafe closes things out. He's the first player to make it to your $1 million round.
That was very impressive. And Dududu was actually the first to advance into the top 4. So it's sad to see him lose here.
A tough one for him indeed. He'll have a second chance down in that lower bracket in the 1-to-1 game here, but that's huge for Shafe. It means he's going to be heading into the obby with 2 opportunities to win. His opponent would have to defeat him with a bracket reset. And let's check in with that leaderboard, show you guys how we're doing. Of course, 2 wins in a row. That's good enough for Shafe.
Definitely. And just looking at the chat votes here, Shafe also had the popular vote. So it looks like they had the right idea on who was going to win this match.
Truly an impressive player, Shafe. I think back to some of our earlier competitions, he only got 16 points in DTI, but won every single round of Super League Soccer, earning 60 points there. 25 then in Blade Ball and rallying back right at the very end. A big congratulations to Shafe here. Let's see if we can maybe check in with him, and as we see him moving his way on into that $1 million round. A great moment here for Shafe.
It's a huge sigh of relief.
Very impressive from him, but we're ready to continue. We still have more matches. So I believe now we're going to head down to our 0-1 round, which means it's Roby and Antarel. They're playing for their lives in the tournament at this point.
This is definitely elimination. So if, as you said, one of them loses, they are completely out of the tournament. No other chances given to them.
And this is where the pressure really starts to mount. It's a game of inches of a little bit of damage going either way. And when the pressure's on, when the stakes are this high, it's easy to make a mistake. I mean, we saw Dududu, I think, falling off the map in that last one. Little mistakes like that can lose you a life-changing sum of money.
Right. Well, that's the thing about rivals, right? Is the movement speed is very fast. It's almost like parkour, but you can use that to your advantage, but you also got to be very careful, especially a map like Construction.
What did you think about the gun selection in our first one? Because we went a little unconventional there with Dududu, and I don't think it paid off.
I am a little bit surprised. I do like the minigun because I'm in the business of spraying and praying, but yeah, no, definitely not the right choice in hindsight.
Well, the players, they're banning weapons into our lower rounds here, making careful consideration of what they want to compete against. Anything that you would want to ban away if you were a competitor here, Enya?
I would probably ban the assault rifle.
Really? It is the one where a lot of players like to play. When I'm playing this game, I almost always lock the AR.
It is the favorite. So if the assault rifle gets banned, people have to get a lot more creative, and that will make for some interesting matches. But doesn't look like that happened.
And it's the tried and true. Here we go. Elimination match. Antarel facing off against Dududu.
I am sweating, and I am not even competing.
I'm going to end the stream chat because I have to go. I'm going out somewhere. And yeah. But yeah, I'll see you guys. I don't know when. Probably not today. I don't know when. Probably tomorrow for a video. But yeah, I am gonna go now. You guys can watch the rest. But yeah, I'll see you all for another stream. Bye.